You
About
gotta.
Eddie, well, he doesn't know dick about fighting, about promoting in the United States. He's a hell of a promoter in the UK.
Morning, dickhead.
Hello, moron.
Yup, you know what time it is, man. Of course, this is your favorite channel, man, CTB. This is Chan Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy Jay Slay. I'm about to wreck the chin with this one. While I'm wrecking you guys' chin, let me remind you guys to please like, comment, and subscribe on the content. That's our time to grow, man. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the month. If you guys help us reach that destination, we greatly appreciate it. Most definitely. But let me now get to your chin check. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was a little bit skeptical on watching this interview. Interview courtesy of Fight Hype. Shout out to Fight Hype. Thanks for the content. Of course, the link will be in the description for this interview. It was Bob Arum, bro. Bob Arum was giving an interview about why he believes the Terence Crawford versus Spence fight has not been finalized in the public. Quick side note, in my opinion, I think the fight has already been finalized. I just think PBC is waiting for a big stage to break the news. In my opinion, I'm hoping it's gonna be on the Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz fight. But we'll see, man. I'm holding out. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that's the case. But Bob Arum feels the fight has not been finalized yet, and this is his reason why. He said that the reason why the fight has not been finalized yet is because, you know, real boxing fans are going crazy for this fight. We really want to see this fight. It's a big fight to us. We've been talking about it for years. We've been debating about it online. It's a huge, huge fight. But casual fans are not that moved by the fight. He also said the piracy of boxing events now, pay-per-view events now, is at an all-time high. A lot of people are finding links and pirating the fight and blah, blah, blah. You know, the promoter's problem. He has a point. I'm not going to lie. He has a point on the piracy issue. A lot of people do find links, especially when it's a fight they're really not moved by. Why I think this fight is a lot different. I think fans will watch and pay for this fight if they do something. I kind of agree with the solution. But let me continue with the problem first. He's saying that, you know, real boxing fans want to see it, of course, but, you know, casual fans are not really moved by it. Piracy is an issue. And the fighters, man, of course, this is promoter Bob Arum talking. Of course, you're going to take the promoter side of the issue. He's saying the fighters want too much money up front. He's saying the fighters are asking for too much money up front because they know it's a big fight. I'm assuming he's talking about Terence Crawford because that's who he's more familiar with. So I'm assuming he's saying Terence Crawford is pretty much pricing himself out. That is what I took from that point. He's saying Terence Crawford, but he said the fighters. He said the fighters are asking for a larger upside, and the promoters have to weigh the wins and losses. They have to weigh, is it worth it, you know, to them, because of course they want to see some upside also because they are the ones promoting the event. His solution is what moved me though. His problem to me, you know, we put it down already. I'm pro fighter. I love the fights that fighters are getting their money. I love the fact that PBC is getting a lot of fighters the route to cut out the middleman in some cases when it comes to promotion and allow them to promote themselves, allow them to have their own promotional standing so they can get a piece of their promotional pie. I love it about PBC. But with that being said, Bob Arum does have a point when it comes to the piracy issue. In today's climate, I'm gonna say this, in today's climate, piracy, of course, is at an all-time high because, you know, in my opinion, I think we're in almost another recession almost. Gas prices is high. You know, rent, trying to find rent and mortgages is high. Formula is hard to find for babies. Groceries are high. Inflation is stupid right now. So, of course, a lot of people don't want to make a life decision on paying $80, $70 for a fight. You know, that to some people, that's a lot of money. You pretty much got to weigh your option to pay a bill or watch a fight. A lot of people in America are living like that. And a lot of us are privileged to not be living like that, but we have to remind ourselves, me myself, I came from that. I came from watching my parents struggle to, you know, pay a bill here. I had my lights cut off plenty of times growing up. So I know that my parents had to weigh watching the fight or getting our lights cut off. The most logical thing to do is, of course, pay your light bill, bro. You're not gonna live in the dark to watch a fight. But today's technology allows people to do both. They allow you to order the fight and still pay your bills on time because you can watch the fight from a link. You can pirate the fight. So people are taking advantage of technology, and the promoters can't stand it. promoters can't stand it, so they are trying any and everything to fight this, this ongoing issue for them. So yeah, I agree with him. Parity is on the all-time high, and that is why a lot of people are not, a lot of us, wow, all of us really are not getting the fights that we want because, piracy. A lot of promoters don't want to put all that money up for a fight of this magnitude, or they don't want to see that fighter lose, and they didn't make as high of a pay-per-view return as they wanted to. So it's like a lose-lose to a promoter. Your fighter to get a blemish on their record, and on top of that, you didn't get a high return. So a lot of promoters, especially Bob Arum, don't want to do that, man. They don't want to take double losses. So they'll keep everything in house. He'll keep everything, very low risk for his money maker, per se. With that being said, I will say this: his solution was great. His solution to the problem was we should take the more of the UK route. We should take the UK route. The UK has a standing where they charge £25 for a pay-per-view fight, which is great in my opinion. £25 for the pay-per-view. The fight is high enough for a return for the promoters and the fighters, but low enough for people who say, you know what, why pirate the fight? It's cheap. I can watch the fight without no buffering, without no issues. It's cheap. I can afford that. Why here in America, $25 is not going to happen. I know that for a fact. But I'm old enough to remember when fights was $50. When a fight was $35, $40 for a pay-per-view card. Like early 2000s, I remember myself paying $50 for Oscar De La Hoya versus Mayweather. I myself remember paying $50 for Shane Mosley. I was $60. I think I got the high D version. $60 for Mayweather Mosley. I remember paying $50 for Mayweather Zab Judah. Like I remember paying $50 for these fights. Great cards too. Some of those cards was nice. It was nice cards on some of those fights. I don't know when and where and why promoters decided, or TV networks decided on raising the cost of a fight to $70, $80, $100. To me, that's asinine. They have to look at the market, man. When you have to, like I said earlier, when you have to weigh your options on paying the bill or watching the fight, a lot of Americans are paying the bills and parodying the fight. So lower the cost so that people will weigh their options a little close. The cost will be like, okay, I can get in the HD. I don't have to worry about the screen messing up. I don't have to worry about nothing. I paid $50. Or I'll have a fight party and we all chip in, $10 here, $10 there, 5 people, $50 ain't nothing, $10 a piece. And with that being said, especially at this fight, I think, man, it would be $2 million people watching that fight, in my opinion. If you charge $50 a fight, it'd be 2 million eyes on that fight, minimum, I believe. So, in my opinion, that's high enough, and I think in Bob Arum's opinion too, they'd be high enough to where the fighters can get a return on their money, the promoters can get a return on their money, and we as fans will be happy with the product, and we'll be happy to pay for future products down the line. Bob Arum made a point of that. I'm gonna tell you where he messed up at. Bob Arum said that it would be an experiment. He said that PBC would have to, of course, experiment with it. They would have to wait. They would have to go out there and do it first, pretty much what he's saying. He said they would have to go out there and test the waters and do it and see what happens. I'm gonna tell you why Bob Arum wanted him to do that. Bob Arum want PBC to do it because he's gonna want to see what happens. He's gonna want to see, shit. If they charge $50 for their pay-per-view and they had this return on it, shit, then we need to do the same thing here at ESPN. We need to do the same thing here at Top Rank. We need to lower costs. That way we can cut out the piracy. And that way, we can pretty much bleach off their solution. But Bob Arum is not willing to do that himself. Bob Arum is not willing to do that experiment himself. He's not willing to give us Devin Haney versus Kambosos, on a card, a decent card, and charge $50. He'd rather give us a whack-ass card with a great main event, but, you have to watch it on the app or whatever. But I think, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna say this in closing. If PBC decides to do this, if PBC decides to only charge $50 for this fight, sales would be astronomical. It would change the market. It would change the way we watch boxing. It would change the way they sell boxing. So if PBC does this, and they make the fight $50, $60 for HD, and they sell 2 million pay-per-views on this fight, and then they do it again, say they have a rematch, they do it again, and do another 2.5, 3 million eyes on the fight. it would change the landscape of boxing for the better, I believe. Pay-per-views would be the same way it was back in Mayweather era. People would start ordering fights again. It'd be a lot less pirating going on, and it'd be a win-win for everybody. That is why I agree with Bob Arum, what Bob Arum said. But of course, he's full of shit because he won't do it himself. He wants somebody else to do it first. That way he can leech off their success and get a little bit of success for himself. But with that being said, man, let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Like I said, this was Fight Hype. The link will be in the description for the full interview. Yeah, man, throw a like on the video, man, if you like the video. I appreciate you guys watching. With that being said, you've been Chin Check. Peace.